Hello everyone, Laurie Barraco here, and I'm here to share with all of you my predictions for the week of February 27, 2022. And this is the last week that I will be using the Lover's Tarot by Chris Walder. All right, so I'm going to give my cards a shuffle, and then we will see what energies we will all be encountering, possibly, this upcoming week. I'm going to give my cards a little bit more of a shuffle. And away we go. This is the informational card, the card that contains some of the information. So we definitely want to take that one out. Okay, so I'm going to pull 3 from the top. I knew this one card was going to come up. Okay, anyway, so we have the tradition card, which is the Hierophant. Then we have the Prince of Arrows, which is the Knight of Swords. And then we have the Transformation card, which is the Death card. And I kept feeling this card coming up. And so, yeah, I want to talk about this because as many of you may already be aware that our beloved Mary Alice Warren, who's been a spiritual advisor, friend, and counsel for many people for almost 50 years, she has transitioned. And I knew she was going to pop up here in my weekly prediction. So she's leaving us all signs here and there, and she was such a gift and blessing and a treasure to all of us. So I knew she was going to pop up in my predictions. All right, so So we have, as I mentioned, first tradition, which is the Hierophant, and then again we had that Page of Swords, and then we have the transition card, the Death card. So I really am feeling that we're probably going to be in between two spaces this week, where we're wanting to continue with tradition, and meaning that how things are usually done, right? Customs and carrying on family rituals, or the way we usually do things, right? And our belief systems, and the handing down, right? The passing on and the handing down of ways, customs, belief systems, stories, and so on and so forth, approaches. And then I feel like we're on the opposite, and on the other end of the spectrum, we're going to feel guided and nudged to change things up and to step outside of the box. I do believe that with this new moon coming up, the new moon's coming up this upcoming week, so that's also a time of clearing the slate before we start a whole new palette here. We begin a whole new journey and cycle for ourselves. So yeah, I feel like there might be a little bit of inner conflict with rationalizing things. You may feel that I'm wanting to do things completely different, feeling spontaneous. And then on the other hand, you might feel that, I don't want to change this up. This is important to me. So we may feel a little conflicted within this, right? Within ourselves, with our choices and our approaches with things in our lives. And I also want you to be aware that with this transition card, with the Death card, I do think our ancestors are also going to be popping in a little bit here and there. So don't be surprised if you have more messages from the other side, such as feathers or coins, or songs on the radio, or number sequences. And I know I have heard people question or ask about the ancestors that we had conflict with. And let's face it, just because people transition, it doesn't mean that they're a saint and all is forgiven and all is good. They still have their personality, and some people we clash with, some people we don't flow with, right? Like oil and water, and the chemistry may not be there. So we're connecting with intention with those who have our highest and best interests at heart. Okay, so just know that. So those ancestors may be dropping in a little bit this week. And so the other card that's standing out is that the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is really ready to take things into action, put things into motion, take that action, and he's also inviting us to use our intellect and our reasoning skills and abilities to process things through, right? So if you're feeling a little fuzzy with the contradictions this week, just drop into your intellect a little bit without the emotion, right? We can do that where we're looking at, is it this or that? Let me look at this from a neutral perspective. All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We love you, Mary Alice. I know you hear us. And for all of you who have lost people through transition as well, sending you all my blessings and love. Namaste.